Hi, this is Bill Myers. I'm one of the two editors of When God Happens. I'm also one of the contributors. I wrote a story that happened to me several years ago. It was an exorcism or a deliverance or whatever you want to call it. And the reason it was so surprising to me was I knew nothing about that and still don't know much. I was about 22 years old. I get a call from one of the top psychics in the country, and he got my phone number in a dream. And he's talking, and then well, it's a long story, but basically, for a while, I thought I was talking to angels that were inside him, and that didn't really hold theological water too well. One thing led to another, and I was finally over at his house praying. And he was certain they were angels. And I said, well, then let's just worship. Let's just worship, because if they're angels, they'll join us. As soon as we started worshiping, the different entities inside him started cursing and swearing and spitting. And then when we'd stop, they'd stop. And so it became really apparent. All I had to go on was what the New Testament did, and that was, well, we have the authority, so let's do it. It took a little while. He had 12 or 13 of the little critters inside him. But in that process, not only was he eventually delivered of them, I got a real education of what spiritual warfare is about. I still needed to learn a lot more, and still do, but just the power and the authority that we have. I know at one point when I was getting tired and didn't know what to do, I said, well, let's read the Bible. And I'd start to read one of the Psalms, and again, the writhing would happen, and the spitting, and the swearing, and the screaming. It became really apparent to me the power of Scripture and the power of worship and the authority we have. I've come now to understand that if I were to meet the devil in a dark alley, he would do all he could to scare me. But when push comes to shove, he's the one that's terrified. Not because I'm hot stuff, but because of the company I keep with Jesus Christ. So in that story, it's got a few chills and so on, but I really hope that the reader will walk away with a thorough understanding that it's not God versus Satan. It's not like they're on the same level. Satan is more like a hangnail than an adversary. But it is showing God's immense authority and love in wanting to set captives free.